Alright, g'day, hi, and welcome. I'm trying to figure out where the hell I'm going to put my wolf snares. Now, we're still in December, early December, so the furs aren't super prime, but I want to have my snares out fairly soon. Get some squirrelage going on here. And, ooh, swamp gas. I'm going to relocate that one. And we're going to go check one more. Got my Ruger 1022 here with me. And easy way to check a trap. When the parallax is a little bit closer, maybe. This scope, the parallax has to be like almost right on or it's blurry. Are you kidding me? I can't tell. I don't think there's anything in there, but that's going to get removed anyway. Just not today. Oh, a phooey. There's a phooey in there. I'll put this back at 50. I don't like the parallax on the front of a scope at all. It turns your crosshairs, especially when they start getting stiff. Now, mind you, the scope looks really cool. It's a 6-24 power. I got it on 6 power right now. I'm gonna go fling a few shots out of it. But first I must scout to see if I can find me a place to put my wolf snares. Once I do that, then yeah, that's today is just about. I wanted to get at least a couple of snares up today, but the way I'm looking at it is that I'm not bringing in my bait till I know where I'm going to put everything, and I'm just looking for that run that they're going to use. You know what I mean? Like, I know like something like this would be perfect, but where do you tie, you know, where do you put a snare, you know? And I want them coming down towards the water to try that technique. But if I just can't find a good enough spot, I'll have to go with what I got. But I got 10 snares there, and I forgot to bring my chains with me, so I can't put them out today anyway. But I will I'll leave that trap. But this one's coming home. This one's coming home. I better bring that with me too. I was going to take this one out further, or do I still want to? I don't know what to do here. I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to leave this here. I'll leave that here. Because I got some at home. I don't need to drag that one all the way home. I got my poles at home to make the drowning bait set, because until I know that ice is solid enough to go on where the beaver house is, I really don't want to be walking on that ice, because I don't know if it's 2 feet deep there or 20. You know, like that's the thing about these swamps, like you can never tell, right? So the problem you run into is if you step off and you go under the ice, you might not be coming back up. So I'm not gonna risk that. Snow off I'm gonna get this thing home anyway. That was a nice little outing with it. And oh, knife of the day is my Binky, my K-bar. I got an image to uphold here, so I'm gonna go with the classic today. And got a classic rifle look, so I'm so paranoid about the stock because I don't want to make it you know, that's the thing with the blued barrels and the wood stocks is, even like little snow like this, you gotta get home and oil it up and whatever. Where if it was stainless, you wouldn't have to worry about that. So, you know, rust. Like, I do plan on flogging this rifle at a later date. I'm waiting for the gun registry. I sent in the gun registry stuff. Here in Quebec, we have to register our frickin' rifles. And of course now with the Liberals in, I think that's gonna, you know, the gun registry's coming back. That was a good slush fund for them. It's not about saving lives or anything like that, just about a slush fund, right? If it was just about that, you could deal with it. But if they, you know that they're gonna try to ban everything, and that's how they're gonna find everything, right? So but we'll see. But I do plan on flogging this one and putting it towards a decent varmint rifle. I mean, I got my Lakefield 22 and it's already banged up, so if I bang it up a little bit more on the trap line, not a big deal. But But this is where, if we were legally allowed to, or easily allowed to carry like a 22 pistol or something like that, you wouldn't have to carry this stuff, right? But that's not the way they look at it. They look at it that if you carry a pistol here, the crime rate in Toronto might go up. So they don't want that. So I'm not saying I want the crime rate in Toronto to go up, but what I'm saying is that it's not logical. Gun laws in Canada are not logical. So it's dense enough, but I don't know if I can. I'm looking for a very specific thing. I'm looking for, you know, I can make the trail myself, but I need at least a 6-inch drag pole. I mean, that one there would probably work, about 15 feet long. So if they do pull the tree out on the snare, if a wolf pulls the tree, the wolves are very powerful, right? So if they pull that out, they're going to be dragging that tree with them, and that's fine as long because it's going to get binded up and everything. You'll have to track them. But if they snap the pole, they're running away with a snare on their neck, and you'll never find them. And so there's a specific way you want to do this, right? So I'm looking for like somewhere like right under there would be a nice spot, but like just putting, like if I had 100 snares, I'd just put them in random spots like that, and I wouldn't have to overthink it. That's the problem. I'm kind of overthinking this. I think I'm overthinking. Now I used to have wolf and coyote stuff in here, but this doesn't look like it's opened up compared to what it used to be. A nice little baiting area, but it's kind of not what I want anymore. It changed. So I mean, you could technically do it anywhere, but I'm trying to use the most natural with least amount of modification setup as possible, so that they're just not scared of it and they're just going to go into it. Because I want to be successful, right? You could set up anything, but if you want to be successful, and I know when they come in, they're going to be zipping, zigzagging through all here. They always do. So I already know where they're going to roughly be. It's just, you know, I want to get them in a bottleneck. And I found out some really good news that they lifted the limitations, bag limits in my area, which is zone 9 here in Quebec. There's 29 zones for the trappers. There's I think 30 something for the hunters, and the hunting zones and the trapping zones are not the same, just so you know. I'm zone 10 for hunting, but I'm zone 9 for trapping. And one of the big things is that the lynx limit has been lifted. It used to be allowed 1 lynx. Now there's like, doesn't seem there's, I can't, like, I've been all over the site, I can't find a limitation on them. And not that there's a lot of lynx around here, but could be something really cool to catch if I can. Now this road is so, this used to be a nice good road here, and you'd be able to get through there and go up the hill, trap the far side of the hill. But getting, there's no more bridge there. Well, if you want to call that kind of a bridge, I don't know what you'd call it, but I can't really get across, so unless I go over here. So I will find that elusive bottleneck to put them in. The recommendation was as thick as possible, but a nice trail, so that, when they're running, say you put your bait along the creek, okay, and your alpha comes in, he feeds, well, the rest of them are going to explore while he's feeding until he's done, right? So they're going to be out about 20, 30 feet. You want to do your half moon snares, but if you only have a couple of snares, you know what I mean, you can't just, I'll put one here, I'll put one there, and just, play the odds. Like there, that's a nice gap. It's not too wide, but those trees are too big. They'd end up, if the tree has no give to it, like a big hunker like that, they'll just pull on the snare until they break it, right? And then again, you lose the wolf. So you need springiness, and if the springiness turns into broke, you need a drag pole. So 6-inch tree is ideal, something like that. They probably won't pull out, but yeah, that'd be too small. That might pass. But you want kind of spots like this, so that if they're running through, kind of clear them a path. In fact, that one's not bad at all. But I want every every lane to be able to see the bait. So you see what I mean? Like, it's not like just throw stuff out and just get it done. It's like, okay, if I'm a wolf and I'm walking along there and I'm looking down that path, which looks like a nice one, I want to see a piece of bait down there. I want that like 20, 30 feet from me. Oh, there's a bait, and then he's looking at that. He's not looking at the snare like 2 feet in front of him. You know what I mean? He's just going to fixate on that. And that's what they're saying when there's a, according to the guy that, you know, trapped like 300 or 400 wolves, he's saying when they could coming down a hill, the more of a slope, they're looking at the bait down there. They're not looking at the, you know, the snare 2 feet in front of them. Whereas if they're on the level, they might see the snare. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but they say wolves can't see yellow. I don't know if that's true or not. I just heard that. I've heard old trappers talk about that. That's like they've got amazing acuity with their vision where they can spot movement. Obviously, they've got an incredible sense of smell. The idea is to catch these guys running so that they really whack into that snare without thinking about it. By the time they smell it, they can't slow down. They're just going to go right into it. Where if they're just creeping along, they're going to smell it from here and they're going to keep going. So you need to get them when they're walking along and it's like, oh, look at the bait, mine, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get there before the rest of them do, so I get my fair share. So you're trying to go on, you're trying to use their appetite against them, and their instinct against them. That's what you're trying to do. So it's not turning out to be an easy task. I've only got 10 snares. If I had 100, that'd be great.